A recent NASA discovery deep under the ice may have just uncovered the real reason President Trump wants to take over Greenland. April 2024. Chad Green, a cryospheric scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, was flying a plane over an enormous glacier when all of a sudden his radar unexpectedly detected a hidden city under the ice. A city called Camp Sentry, a secret U.S. military research base built beneath the Greenland ice sheet during the Cold War, about 127 miles northeast of Bidefik Air Base. Constructed between 1959 and 1960, it operated until 1967 and was designed as a demonstration of affordable Arctic outposts, a test bed for construction techniques, and a hub for scientific research. Publicly, it was portrayed as a scientific and engineering experiment, but its covert purpose was to serve as a prototype for Project Iceworm, a plan to deploy nuclear missiles hidden beneath the ice. Camp Sentry was built using what's called a cut-and-cover trenching technique. Swiss-made rotary snow plows, known as Peter plows, carved deep trenches into the ice, which were then covered with steel arches and topped with snow for insulation and camouflage. The camp consisted of a network of 21 to 26 tunnels stretching nearly 2 miles in total length. These tunnels housed a variety of facilities, including living quarters for up to 200 soldiers and scientists, a kitchen and cafeteria, a hospital and infirmary, a laundry area, a recreational hall, a theater, a chapel, a barber shop, as well as scientific laboratories and storage tanks. The camp was powered by a portable nuclear reactor, the first of its kind, which provided electricity and heat for over 3 years before being decommissioned and removed due to its structural instability in the reactor trench. Fresh water was sourced by melting ancient ice via a deep stream well, producing over 10,000 gallons daily. Now, while Camp Sentry was publicly a research facility, its secret mission was to test feasibility for Project Iceworm, a vast network of tunnels designed to house up to 600 nuclear-tipped ICBMs hidden from Soviet detection and attack. The plan envisioned 52,000 square miles of tunnels with 11,000 personnel, making it one of the most ambitious Cold War military engineering projects ever. However, the project was abandoned in the 1960s due to a number of factors: the instability and constant movement of the Greenland ice sheet, which made tunnel maintenance unsustainable, the political obstacles, including the Danish government's reluctance to allow nuclear weapons on its territory, as well as inter-service rivalry within the U.S. military over nuclear weapons control. When the camp was abandoned, the reactor was removed and its hazardous waste buried. The remaining infrastructure was left to be enveloped in layers of ice and snow, completely abandoned and forgotten until now, until this ultrasound radar mapped out its entire dimensions and depths. So, what's the relationship between this abandoned military base deep under the ice of Greenland and President Trump? That is exactly what we're going to find out. If you're a homeowner, you need to listen to this. When was the last time you checked on your home title? That's the legal proof you own your house. Well, if you're like me, the answer is never. The problem is, in today's AI and cyber world, scammers are stealing home titles and your equity is the target. And here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on one document. They use a fake notary stamp. They pay a small fee with your county, and boom, that's it. Your home title has been transferred out of your name. Then they take out loans using your equity or even sell your property. You won't even know it's happened until you get a collection notice or foreclosure notice. So that's why you need to stop what you're doing right now and find out today if you've already been a victim. Use promo code TurleyTalks at HomeTitleLock.com to make sure your title is still in your name. You'll also get a free title history report plus a free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud should happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Go to HomeTitleLock.com right now. Use promo code TurleyTalks. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code TurleyTalks. A recent report by the Daily Mail noted that shortly after the rediscovery of the secret military base back in April of 2024, it was then that President Trump began talking about taking over Greenland from Denmark, even warning that he would not rule out using the U.S. military to take over the island and, as it turns out, the secret military base. Now, to put this in historical perspective, while there are only about 150 U.S. troops stationed at Bidefik Space Base today, there used to be upwards of 10,000 soldiers across 17 bases living in Greenland during the Cold War. The U.S. took over Greenland's defense during World War II and then tried to buy it for $100 billion back in 1946. Now, although Denmark turned down the offer, the U.S. refused to withdraw their troops after the war. So the stalemate led to a 1951 treaty with Denmark that allowed the U.S. military to stay and build bases in Greenland. And that deal is still in effect today. Greenland's strategic importance for the United States stems from its geographic position as well as its resources, making it a key asset for national security, economic interests, and geopolitical influence. The Danish territory's vast reserves of rare earth minerals, oil, and gas further boost its economic value. Additionally, the island hosts the all-important Bidefik Space Base, which supports missile defense, space surveillance, and Arctic operations. The strategic importance of Greenland has increased all the more given Russia's dominance over the Arctic region. And the more Russia occupies the Arctic, the more Moscow is claiming to actually own within this region. And those claims to ownership are going right up to the borders of Greenland and Canada. And so Trump sees acquiring Greenland as an important hedge in the balance of power with Russia in the region. He sees as very much part of the national security of the United States, as well as Canada. I mean, Greenland is, of course, geographically situated in the sphere of North America and would be an important buffer to Russian expansion militarily and economically. According to the Trump administration, controlling Greenland would secure these assets, counter growing Russian and Chinese influence in the region, and bolster U.S. and NATO dominance in the region. It's therefore no coincidence that it's just been reported that the Pentagon is preparing, as we speak, to transfer its oversight of Greenland from U.S. European Command to U.S. Northern Command, marking a significant realignment that would more closely tie Greenland to U.S. defense interests in North America. So there are a number of implications for this move. Obviously, it involves transferring jurisdiction from the European security apparatus now to the North American security apparatus, asserting greater U.S. control over the Arctic territory. And this would allow for the expanding of the U.S. missile defense system, particularly the Golden Dome radar network that President Trump has just authorized, as well as for monitoring Russian and Chinese activity in the Arctic. So bottom line, this move is being seen as the Trump administration taking a very proactive step to bringing the semi-autonomous Danish territory into closer alignment with the United States and with U.S. homeland defense strategy. In the meantime, Greenland's new government, while remaining loyal to Denmark, is nevertheless exploring options to declare its independence from Denmark. A recent survey found that a clear majority of Greenland's near 60,000 population support independence if their quality of life remained the same or did not worsen. So all of this is to say that the quest for Greenland by the Trump administration certainly remains alive and well, and actually may indeed be closer to being realized than anyone could have ever imagined. By the way, click on the link in the description below to get all these articles and tweets I reference throughout my videos emailed to you each and every day. You're going to love it. We want you to have the best resources out there to convince your family and your friends of this new MAGA super age that's rising here.